Hey all, Hipper here. So I don't play the Weimar ever, really. I think it's one of those ships that are beneath me and is just too easy to play and is something that I don't want to be seen playing in public. But since this ship was moved to tier 7, I haven't played it with an Agile build. So don't forget to like, share and comment and of course subscribe. First, let's have a look at my build here, because like I said, this is an Agile Weimar with Baltimore and Soundwave and all the usual perks here, all about rudder and speed, along with fully packed. So on the ship, we have the turret rotation, and we have rudder, and again we have rudder, double rudder. That's what we like. We get 3 sonars, very important here, and also 3 heels, of course. 1.9 rudder shift and 35 knots. Not very fast, actually quite slow, but the rudder is good and the turning circle is acceptable. So like I said, I don't play this ship a lot because it's ridiculous. It was especially ridiculous when it was at tier 6. I mean, what? And I played it a handful of times, and it's just the ridiculous ship that is way too powerful and just stupid. So like I said earlier, this ship is beneath me, and when I see players in this ship, especially good players that I know, I kind of have a little chuckle to myself, because this is a ship for very, image conscious people who don't want to lose battles. Let's put it like that. As you can also tell, I haven't put my CC camo on this ship, because as I've said in some other videos, I only put the CC camo on ships that I like, and I don't like this ship. So yeah, there you have it. So as usual, this is an Agile Weimar here, so we are very aggressive all in the opening minutes of the battle. We are tanking all incoming salvos here simply by dodging them. We don't use our armor, we don't need to. We don't use our concealment because we don't have to. All we want to do is get into a good position here, and I am lucky in this battle here. I actually have proper backup. And here, we've caught this little 2-man division here with their pants down, pretty much. They were not expecting this Weimar here to be as aggressive as it is. So they had to smoke up over there. And we're keeping this North Carolina behind the ice, so he can't touch me either. So now I'm in a perfect spot, and I have my sonar on, meaning that I can spot this Jarvis here easily, like at 5.6 kilometers, I believe it is, or 5.4, I don't remember. And we can obviously also spot the Belfast. I mean, it's not secret where they are, and the smoke is not going to help them. And we're just gonna use a little bit of the nice German AP here on this like ridiculously overpowered ship. And we do take a nasty salvo from the battleship, but it doesn't matter. That was a calculated, I take that salvo and I get rid of the cruiser at the same time. So all I have to worry about now is get rid of that nasty little destroyer there. I still have a minute of sonar left, so I'm just gonna make sure he cannot escape this way here. I'm like kind of staggering my torpedoes, so in case he tries to run away towards this area here, then I can hopefully torp him. And North Carolina is a pretty bad shot, so we don't have to worry about him. So now, I don't know why this destroyer here is actually taking me on, because I mean, obviously he's not going to win this fight. It's not just me, but there's another two cruisers behind me. So yeah, he's probably better off just staying behind his rock and just waiting for me to come and end him. But he decides not to, which is fine. So this is an Agile cruiser in a nutshell. You take on the responsibility, going in there, like you're doing the dangerous work for your team. Because I was going in here, I was taking all the risk just to get that sonar into position, so we can get rid of those 2 ships over there, because they could have locked down this whole cap for pretty much the whole battle, sitting there sharing their smokes and being really annoying. And well, that didn't happen, did it? So this is also an example of almost any cruiser can be played as an Agile cruiser. There are a few prerequisites here that, make of to make better agile cruisers. Not all cruisers are good agile cruisers. For example, Alaska is a woeful agile cruiser. Mogami is also a terrible agile cruiser. Suzuya is also an absolutely horrible agile cruiser. Although most people think they are really good agile cruisers because they're really good at kiting and they have torpedoes that point towards the rear so you can kite away and shoot torpedoes at the enemy. Except that's not what you do in an agile cruiser at all. You kite when you have to, just like in any other cruiser, but you don't kite any more than a normal cruiser. So obviously with the better rudder and the faster speed of an agile cruiser, they are obviously much better at kiting than normal cruisers. But again, it doesn't mean that you should spend your time kiting in these cruisers here. That's a misunderstanding perpetuated by people who don't understand agile cruisers in the community, and you're better off just ignoring them, really. So this cap is one, this flank is one, really. I mean, we have a North Carolina that's like sailing into the sunset, and these two cruisers here, they're making the classic mistake of actually chasing that battleship in open water. I mean, you do that if it's the last battleship left, or if you're, just one ship shy of Kraken or something like that. But you don't do that 5 minutes into the battle, taking yourself that much out of position. So I'm just staying here. I'm going to just see what happens here. See that cruiser is not going to make it. There's no point. Just wait for the North Carolina to come back and try to contest the cap, and you'll actually get more XP. But whatever. So the New Orleans is down, and that was actually the guy I bumped into in the beginning, which is when people don't look where they're going in the beginning, that's usually a really bad sign. Because it either means that they're looking the wrong way or they're just sailing and doing random things. So yeah, not too surprised with the ending there. So we have removed 4 red ships. I've sunk 1. I'd say I've sunk 2, but I didn't get the kill on that destroyer there. So now we're just gonna wait and see what the enemy is actually going to do, because we have 2 caps. As long as we can hold them, then things are looking pretty good. So I'm going to use cover, obviously, when I can. In an agile cruiser, you have to do that. You can shoot from open water, but if you can utilize cover, you should definitely do that, just like I'm doing here. Get that North Carolina out of the game, and just using that overextended, what is it, a Mogami there to spot for me, yeah, get this guy out of the game, and then we can try to move over to the B cap, because I'm a little bit anxious of leaving this battleship over here on this flank here, because there's no one else, and there's just a carrier over here. So I kind of want to get rid of this ship here before I actually move on, just in case. So there we got a final fire that'll burn this guy here out. And the fire chance in Weimar is just stupid. And this ship, along with Des Moines and Worcester and a few other ridiculous ships, yeah, people who play these ships on a regular basis, I don't know, they have no self-respect. It's kind of like street racing all the local punks down on the corner in their, souped up Volkswagens in your brand new Lamborghini or something like that. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, we're finished over here on this flank, so we are going to move in towards the middle now. And the carrier is over here. He probably should at this point follow us towards the middle, at least so he has some support. The red ships out there in the horizon, namely the carrier, they're in a pretty nasty spot. But I have seen battles like this one turn immediately. Like you see, we are way ahead on points, nearly 500 points. But I can also tell that this is not the strongest team I've ever had. Namely because we've been totally wiped out over on the right flank, which shouldn't happen. Especially not as quickly as it did here. So I need to get into position. And I mean, that's fairly easy. I'm going 35 knots. The standard Weimar goes, I don't know, probably around 30. something like that. And look how fast it turns as well. So I'm eyeing off this cruiser here, coming from the C cap that's trying to actually go and contend the B cap. Because obviously we cannot have that. So there goes the red carrier. But see, we have 6 ships. Oh, I'm sorry, 5 ships. And the reds have 3. So just keep an eye on the ship count here in the next few minutes of the battle. Because like I said before, don't ever count your chickens. Because these battles here have a way of just suddenly turning the other way. Once the reds have been thinned out a bit and only the better players are left. And if your team are left with most of the less good players left, you could be facing like a really tough battle, which really should have been a very easy an easy battle. So anyway, we have the New Orleans moving in here, and I don't want him to enter the cap, so I'm just gonna annoy him here from 11 kilometers. And there's no way he can out DPM me. Like I don't know if any ship can out DPM the Weimar. The Weimar is just stupid, and yeah. So all I have to do is just set fires on this guy here. So that's the high caliber there, and just keep him out of the cap. Really, if I can get rid of this guy, then there's only a destroyer and a cruiser left, and we have 5 ships. But as I said, keep an eye on that ship count there. So I have my sonar on here, and that's primarily because I don't know where the destroyer is. He was spotted over at A, but that's a while ago, and I don't know if he's coming to help this New Orleans here. But in any case, the New Orleans is gone, and now looking at it in rear view, I should have saved my sonar here. But you know, Agile cruisers, you have 3 of them, and for some reason that carrier there got hit. He should have followed us towards the middle of the map for some protection. Don't stay over there by yourself, because yeah, you're just a very inviting target for a destroyer. The cap may look safe, but you never know. This is a fairly small map. It's easy for a destroyer to move from cap to cap. So yeah, that was definitely an oversight on the carrier's part there. And I mean, I could have stayed over there, but I would have just wasted my time. We are ahead on points, so with 3 minutes left, even if this guy gets the A cap, it doesn't really matter too much. And that's another very important aspect of Agile cruisers here, because you are giving your team a really nice head start by grabbing the cap in the first, well, I don't know, like 2 minutes or whatever I did. And instead of fighting over the cap for, you know, a prolonged amount of time, because those... Let's say you fight for the cap for 5 minutes, or you grab it very quickly like I did in 2 minutes. That's 3 minutes of tickets you are accumulating in that time. And that's definitely really worth it. We wouldn't be winning this battle here, I think, if we haven't grabbed that A cap so quickly right off the bat there, and removed the little division over there that really helped as well. So always try to defend, reset the guys who are trying to cap. Like, 1, it will help you win the battle, so it's good. 2, you're doing damage to the enemy. And 3, it's giving you lots of XP. So as somehow this Jarvisir managed to kill the Miyoko. And like I said, just keep an eye on the ship count, because we are down to 2 versus 1 now. And like I said, that was from 8 versus 4 or something like that. Something along those lines. And the destroyer is luckily actually doing something really good. He is far away from the other destroyer, so he's going to survive no matter what. And he's capping the C cap, so now we are certain of a win. This destroyer cannot make it over to the C cap in time to kill my destroyer, so it doesn't really matter what I do over here. So I'm going to put some pressure on this destroyer here, try to get a 4th kill. And unfortunately, like I said, I used my sonar earlier, where I wasn't sure where this destroyer actually was. And with only a minute left, I'm not going to be able to use this last sonar here that I have. I usually use all my sonars, all 3 of them in my Agile cruisers. But in this case here, I just don't get to use it, which is a shame, because this destroyer here is just asking for it. So look at my ingenious indicator up there. I can tell exactly when this destroyer is firing torpedoes. Because usually they fire and then they like don't have you as a target anymore. and that means that the indicator blinks. So it's a dead giveaway. Like, of course, some people, they know this and they play smart and they keep you targeted. And I was sure he was going forward, but he's actually going backwards. So kind of miss out on the kill there. So I know where the torpedoes are coming from. I'm just waiting for them to pop up, and that's something that most people don't know you can do with Ingenious. And of course, it only works with players who don't understand this trick, but it is very helpful. So we're almost within minimum distance here, just lining up the guns. But there's only 1 second left, and we just don't get this last guy here. But still, good battle. I think we end up at 3400 XP, and we'll just remove the winning XP as usual, so we can actually see who did the best. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and see you out there.